Commission meeting on, what is today? What is that?
October 4th.
October 4th. If you'll all please stand and repeat the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The agenda will start with item number 1, the approval of minutes. Commissioners, we have one set of minutes from the September 20th, 2023 meeting. I saw no corrections.
I had no corrections either.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes from September 20th, 2023.
All second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We've also been asked to handle 2 other items on the agenda that are not voting items, just recognitions. One of those is Employee of the Month. Courtney, we'll turn the time over to you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So today it's my honor to present the Employee of the Month Award to Deputy Garrett Blank of the Carbon County Sheriff's Office for October. Garrett, do you want to come up and grab this? Yeah. You're welcome. Deputy Blank joined us as a corrections officer in July of 2021. In the fall of 2022, he transitioned to patrol working alongside his canine partner, Joey. Sergeant Sean Adley is unable to be here today, but he nominated Deputy Blank following an incident of exceptional significance. Recently, Deputy Blank conducted a traffic stop resulting in the arrest of 4 individuals with a history of serious financial crimes, including money laundering, racketeering, and fraud. 3 of the 4 individuals had previously served time in federal prison for the crimes that I just mentioned. The impact of this arrest is immense, with over $50,000 seized and a trove of fake IDs and fraudulent credit cards. So, Deputy Blank, we'd like to recognize you as October's Employee of the Month. Your outstanding service to our community and dedication to keeping our community safe do not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
I know.
We're not going to let you off that easy either. You know, I remember officiating your football games when you were in high school. So you played hard then, and yeah, they were good. You played hard, and appreciate to see you, what you've turned into, and the family man you are now. And so keep it up. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Another one is Super Service Award. Tina, we'll turn the time over to you.
I was getting nervous when she was reading the charges. I'm like, it wasn't me, I promise. Just kidding. All right. So I will start with the recommendation, or the nomination, I'm sorry. Our Super Service Award winner is Roman Vega with the Helper Museum. Roman is the director of the Helper Museum. He has done a great job in creating exhibits of mining, railroad, and everyday life of historic Helper City. He is fun to talk to and always friendly to the visitor. He loves what he does, and it shows. I'm happy to present this award to Roman. And I will add, I'm a big fan of Roman, and he knows this. We work a lot together, and he's so open to some of my crazy ideas, but he's very supportive of tourism, very supportive of the county. So we appreciate everything he does, and I was glad to see his name on that list.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. There you go.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Would you like to say anything?
I would like to thank whoever nominated me for this award. I've been director now a little over 2 years, and if you haven't been to the museum, please come by. We've done a lot of great things, 4 floors, over 43 different rooms, a large variety of history, the Carbon Corridor, geotourism. They've done a lot of great things for them. So yeah, please come check us out.
It all makes it easy when we have great partners like yourself. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is review and possible approval of advertising agreement with Lamar Airport Advertising. Tina.
Sorry. Our commentary, me and Roman, we go far. We go way back, went to school together. Commissioners, this is the last of our out-of-home advertising for our 2022 co-op marketing grant. We had a leftover of $10,000 budget, and it's part of our out-of-home advertising for that grant, which means we pay $5,000, the state pays $5,000, and it's a great way to leverage our dollars. When we were looking at ways where we could reach travelers, several different types of travelers coming in and out of Utah, we decided on a Salt Lake City airport digital marketing advertising in their baggage claim. So that's where thousands of travelers from all over the world congregate, and this campaign will run for 16 weeks. It's a digital network ads and snippet video that our ad agency has put together. It'll run on the screens that are located at the baggage claim with a 20-minute dwell time for passengers. Here they will have an opportunity to take in our advertising messages multiple times during that 20 minutes, and they can even scan a QR code.
Fantastic. Any questions?
Nope.
No, I have no questions. I'll make a motion that we approve the advertising agreement with Lamar Airport Advertising.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you,
Tina.
Commissioners.
Item number 3, consideration of possible approval of professional services contract between Carbon County and Southeastern Utah Economic Development District. Tony, we'll turn the time over to you for this one.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Martinez, sorry.
It's okay. We know each other. The EDA grant has been very helpful to us. I believe the airport has received some money from the EDA grant. The Association of Local Governments partners up with the economic development on a federal level. It gives us opportunities to grow different types of opportunities that we wouldn't be familiar with. So Jerry is not here to talk about it, but it's an ongoing agreement that we've had with the AOG. The agreement annually is $7,500. Are there any questions about the EDA grant, or the AOG will administer all of the paperwork, the reporting, all of that is done on their side. They're just basically a partner that we pay to help assist us with any kind of federal opportunities.
I have no questions. I think it's a good thing for us to have them as a partner in our efforts with a lot of things, especially economic development. So I'll make the motion that we approve professional service contract between Carbon County and Southeastern Utah Economic Development District.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 4 on the agenda is adjourn as the Carbon County Commission and convene as the Board of Equalization.
I'll make the motion that we adjourn as Carbon County Commission and convene as the Board of Equalization.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 5, consideration of possible approval of Board of Equalization adjustments. This falls to our elected official, Gillian Bishop. Mr. Bishop, would you like to come and explain a little bit of the process of the Board of Equalization and how that works?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Hopes. So the Board of Equalization is a period of time after the tax roll is closed that the taxpayers and also the board, as collectively you three hold that Board of Equalization position, have a chance to examine the tax roll, raise concerns of value, and then have those valuation concerns addressed. Those valuation concerns could be addressed in a number of ways. One could be through a stipulation where a negotiated value is agreed upon by both parties. Another way is that they meet in person with a hearing officer that is a third party outside of our county, and then also they can withdraw their application. At that time, whatever decision is made, they would then have the chance to either accept the new valuation that's given, or they would retain appeal rights to the state. So in general, that's where we're at.
Thank you. Would you also explain a little bit of the role of the hearing officer? So the stipulated can happen outside of the hearing officer.
That's correct. So the,
And then the other part of that would be the actual BOE hearings where we have a hearing officer that hears both sides of the argument.
That's correct. And so so this year, this stipulation is basically between the assessor's office and the person who is the taxpayer. That can occur and is encouraged to ongoing discussions whenever there is a dispute. It is encouraged through the Utah State Tax Commission to keep a conversation and dialogue going to try and make resolution. Once resolution has been made and the stipulation has been agreed to, those stipulations are compiled, placed before the board, which collectively you three are the board, to approve or deny those no values. Those can take place outside of a formal hearing, but they can also take place within a hearing. During the opportunity that we had to actually meet with our hearing officer and the taxpayers, we did on several occasions take a sidebar and say, look, the hearing officer's here, but we're going to remove them for a moment and discuss the value with the evidence that has been presented. Situations that could be, for example, the taxpayer comes in and says, I want to have primary residential exemption on this property, and I have a tenant there. Here is their lease. Well, immediately at that point, clearly it's we're going to agree, and so we stipulate to that, and the hearing officer's no longer really a part of it. So we would call that kind of mute. Before the hearing officer came down this year, we had met with 563, addressed that many parcels inside of our office. Some people had more than one parcel, so about 400 people, I would say. The hearing officer meets in person to receive evidence from both parties. Those evidence is then weighed on its merits. The county is given the presumption of having an accurate and complete value, and so the burden of proof in most circumstances will be on the taxpayer to show that there is something amiss with the value. So that's what the hearing officer's role is to decide whether or not the evidence that is being presented by the taxpayer is enough to be able to now change the value.
Okay. So do you have the number of parcels from the BOE? So there was 563 parcels that you met with previous to the hearing officer.
That's correct.
And then how many through the hearing officer?
So through the hearing officer, that process is actually still ongoing. There are several still with the hearing officer that they has not rendered a decision on. Some still have a 10-day period of time where they are responding to evidence, and some are 61 are either mail-in and to be scheduled. So for exact numbers on those, I would probably refer you to the clerk of the board to get the exact numbers. I don't know if those have been compiled yet.
Do we have numbers on those yet?
Yeah, we have 899 total.
Does that include the 563?
Yes, it does.
Okay. 899?
849.
849.
Couldn't read the 4.
And some of those are still in question. So tonight we won't be able to approve all of them. Just the ones that have either a stipulated agreement or have been settled in BOE. Okay. Do we have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the initiated changes from the assessor and from the judge.
The Board of
trial.
Equalization.
Yeah, the Board of Equalization.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 6 is adjourn as the Board of Equalization and convene as the Carbon County Commission.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn as the Board of Equalization and convene as the Carbon County Commission.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 7 is review of June 2023 letter from the Utah State Tax Commission regarding Assessor Bishop and the County Assessor's Office. Did we want to read this? And then, okay.
Yep.
So we'll read the letter. We also have an updated accounting that will be read as well.
Okay, so you want to do this one first?
Correct.
Go through that.
Right. There'll be an updated accounting. So why is this a problem? The state has the ability to withhold tax revenue if this is not fixed. Number 2, untold county resources have been spent trying to address this problem. Number 3, the tax shortfall, because of the adjustments that have been made, are, we don't have a final number, but the latest number was around 38 million, could be up to around $50 million in lost tax revenue or tax value, which then would be applied to the rate, and that would be lost revenue to the taxing entities throughout the county, resulting in budgets that will need to be cut or addressed for a shortfall. Number 4, it's not fair to taxpayers. Some residents of the county went to the Board of Equalizations to have their taxes corrected. Other taxpayers did not go, which means that the tax burden is not being fairly shared. The other item, those were A, B, C, and D. Number 3, what the commissioners have done to try and fix the problem. A, reported the problem to the State Tax Commission and are working with the Tax Commission to solve the problem. B, working with Assessor Bishop to respond to the Tax Commission's orders. C, hired outside consulting to train and fix the problems in the assessor's office and the tax roll. And D, in process of hiring a commercial appraiser for all commercial properties. Is this where we should read the letter? Yeah. Commissioner Martinez will read the letter.
So we received this letter from the State Tax Commission back in June of this year. It is addressed, Dear Chair Martinez, over the past couple of years, the Property Tax Division of the State of Utah Tax Commission has received numerous complaints about Gillum Bishop and his management operations of the Carbon County Assessor's Office. The Property Tax Division has tried to work with Mr. Bishop to overcome his deficiencies and shortcomings concerning the property tax process and his management of the office. Those efforts have not yielded the required results and therefore require the division to start issuing orders to correct the problems. The majority of the problems are related to Mr. Bishop's management and operations of the office. This letter only contains initial findings and orders, and a more thorough review of problems and issues in the assessor's office is underway, and additional orders or actions may become necessary. In addition, new data has recently come to our attention that may require us to involve the Office of the Attorney General for further investigation. The Property Tax Division of the Utah State Tax Commission is writing this corrective action letter to address noncompliance of laws, rules, and standards, as well as administrative and other concerns related to the Carbon County Assessor's Office. Under the authority, according to Section 59-2-303.1, Part A, 4A, the Commission shall take corrective action if the Commission determines that first, county assessor has not satisfactorily followed the current mass appraisal standards as provided by law. 2, the sales assessment ratio, coefficients, and dispersions or other statistical measures of appraisal performance related to the studies required by sections 59-2-704 are not within the standards provided by law. Or 3, the county assessor has failed to comply with the requirements of this section. The Property Tax Division has Division also has other extensive enforcement powers in Section 59-2-704 and Section 59-1-210. Initial findings. The last 2 years, the assessor has waited until the last day to close the assessment rolls. This required the Property Tax Division to provide the needed factors and adjustments that would need to be applied to each of his areas to pass the county sales ratio study. The main reason for this is the lack of communication and delayed response time that we have received from his office as we go through our preliminary audits and assistance in the months prior to the assessment rolls closing on May 22nd. These adjustments need to be made weeks before the closing date so that the adjustments and errors checked can be run and data can be verified. The timelessness in which this is occurring is causing a strain on the property tax process and the ability to verify and check data in a timely manner. There are concerns with the manner and the mass appraisal system is being used. The data is being collected and entered into the mass appraisal system called PUMA. When each area's stratification needs to be factored, this is currently happening after the values from PUMA are pushed into the county's administrative system called coins. The result is that the values are in PUMA and coins do not match. The proper way to use PUMA to apply factors, PUMA calls these multipliers. When done correctly, the values in PUMA and coins should match and allow for a more accuracy and efficiency as the data is rolled over to the new tax year. We understand that the PUMA system is new and that there are areas of improvement within the system as each county begins using it. However, it has been our experience that the assessor's office has been unwilling to ask for assistance and guidance or adequately learn how to best use the tools that are available within his mass appraisal system. The concern has also been brought to our attention that multiple county employees' data errors from 2023 in a detailed review of characteristic area required by Section 59-2-303.1. The division reviewed these claims and was able to confirm that there were data errors in the 2023 assessment roll. There were also many claims that we were unable to confirm in a short time frames we had available before the roll had to be finalized. We believe that these claims deserve a more thorough audit and investigation to determine if further action needs to be taken. The Carbon County Assessor's Office is currently in violation because there is no certified general appraiser, designated ad valorem general real property appraiser, or designated ad valorem personal property appraiser, auditor appraiser on staff. This is required from each assessor's office to legally appraise non-residential property as well as business personal property under their jurisdiction, according to Section 59-2-701 and R884-24P-19. The assessor was told last year that he was not in compliance and would need to become certified or designated in order to sign off on the appraisal work of the commercial properties. The other option was to contract with a certified general appraiser to complete the work. There was also an effort from the division to assist in reviewing the commercial work prior to the 2023 assessment roll closure. The assessor did not take the necessary actions to comply with this requirement. While serving as an elected assessor, Mr. Bishop has also operated his own private fee appraisal business. The concerns have been raised regarding his private business interfering with the management of a successful assessor's office. The assessor's office requires time and attention to be compliant and provide the level of service the taxpayers deserve. It is a clear conflict of interest to have a private fee appraisal performed by Mr. Bishop used as evidence in a Carbon County Board of Equalization hearing. A further review or investigation may be necessary to ensure that Mr. Bishop is not in violation of state laws or appraisal ethics standards. In addition, we have received multiple complaints from taxpayers, county employees, and property tax division employees of communication issues, concerns with their professionalism, data errors, and the assessor not being in the office or available when needed. We have had complaints of treatment treating county employees poorly, as well as our staff at the division. This is a concern, especially when there is a high turnover in the office and where management, training, and education of his staff and their duties is critical. We believe that the lack of communication, professionalism, availability, and training of his staff has led to many of the errors and issues that have been mentioned above. We believe these problems are directly due to poor management and leadership. Orders and expectations. The property division is willing to assist the assessor's office in Carbon County to come into compliance as well as address the issues that have been raised. The following actions must be taken to come into compliance and improve the property tax process in Carbon County. Number one, communicate and ask for assistance to apply mass adjustment and factors to the assessment rolls weeks before the assessment roll is to be closed. This will ensure that the assessor's office and the division have sufficient time to review, run error checks, as well as perform data verifications to produce a more fair and equitable assessment to taxpayers. 2, spend time and energy necessary to learn from the division as well as the staff of PUMA to better understand how to use the tools to assist in proper mass appraisals. To work closely with PUMA staff to make sure this data is not only pushed correctly to the administrative system each year, but also the 2023 data is rolled over to the 2024 tax year correctly in each subsequent year. 3, the division will perform a detailed review audit and investigation of the concerns surrounding the parcels that were in the detailed review area during the 2023 tax year. The assessor will comply with orders and directions that are the outcome of the process. 4, the assessor will come into compliance by obtaining his certified general appraisal license or becoming designated by the state to appraise non-residential properties. If this is not a viable option, the county will need to contract with a certified general appraiser to complete the appraisal of the non-residential properties. 5, the assessor will need to ensure that he or one of his employees is able to obtain designation from the state of Utah that will allow the office to appraise, audit business personal property under their jurisdiction. Conclusion. If the county is unable to come into compliance and improve the property tax process for a second consecutive year, Section 59-2-303.1, Part 4C states that the county will lose the county's allocation of the revenue generated statewide from the imposition of the multi-county assessing and collecting levy authorized in Sections 59-2-1602 and 59-2-1603. This, as well as further action, may be necessary to ensure a fair and equitable property tax for the taxpayers of Carbon County. The Property Tax Division is committed and will work with the County Commission, Assessor's Office, and other elected offices to achieve compliance in the laws, administrative rules, and regulations that govern the property tax process. This letter is drafted by Josh R. Nelson, Director of the Property State Tax, Utah State Tax Commission.
Commissioner Jensen?
So since the end of May and into June, the state has been in our assessor's office working with him and has sent a letter as of today giving us an update on what they have found, and so I'd like to go through that. In June of 2023, the Tax Commission issued a corrective action letter to Carbon County Assessor. Within that letter, there were 5 orders or expectations given. This letter gives an update on progress from the Tax Commission's perspective as it relates to the 5 orders or exceptions. And these are the same 5 items that Commissioner Martinez just read. Item 1 was to communicate and ask for assistance to apply the mass adjustments and factors to the assessment roll weeks before the assessment roll is to be closed. That item is yet to be determined. It will have to be looked at next year in May when they're due. Item number 2, spend time and energy necessary to learn from the division as well as the staff of PUMA to better understand how to use the tools to assist in proper mass appraisal. That work is in progress. Success will be determined later. Item 3, the division will perform a detailed review, audit, and investigation of the concerns surrounding the parcels that were in the detailed review area during the 2023 tax year. So this is their findings there. In reviewing the Carbon County 2023 tax roll, I have collected information concerning the detailed review area. Below, I have shared the review process, findings, and solutions as they relate to the 2023 tax roll in the detailed review area. The review process, they compared the 2022 tax roll to the 2023 tax roll. They've reviewed the list of parcels with concerns. They've reviewed the history of factors taking place in the administrative system. They've reviewed with the assessor's office personnel their responsibilities and processes. They've conducted a field review of the detailed review area. They've visited with some property owners in the detailed review area. They've discussed issues and concerns with the assessor and reviewed the International Association of Assessment Officers staffing standards. And the findings from those items are: number 1, there were no appraisers on staff other than the assessor. Suggestion of the State Tax Commission, at least 2 appraisers in addition to the assessor. The support staff has not received sufficient training, supervision, and licensure for some tasks. The following are concerns in regards to this. Making appraiser judgment, for example, the quality, condition, style, effective age, and value of a structure. And also using incorrect property codes. In some cases, different property codes were taxed at the same level, but a label on a code would incorrectly label the improvement or the land type. In other cases, the wrong property codes would change the taxing value. Item 3 is not fully using the computer-aided mass appraisal system as designed. Accurate and consistent property characteristics must be entered into the CAMA system to allow for uniformity. Market adjustments, multipliers must be made within that system based on the sales data analysis. This would allow the CAMA and administrative system to match values and information so that the following year, when the data is rolled over from CAMA systems to the administrative system, will be consistent. So solutions, it has been determined that the 2022 detailed review area should be redone to correct the following concerns. Ensure accurate and consistent property characteristics will be entered into the CAMA system and change any error data. Next, to work closely with the CAMA system vendor to do the market adjusted multipliers. 3, begin early and continue to review sales data to understand the real estate market in Carbon County and to assist in determining market adjusted multipliers. 4th item, assessor and his staff will work with a hired appraiser who has mass appraisal and data and analytics experience to ensure corrections to the 2022 detailed review area. The note there is that we support the county commission's actions to hire the above mentioned expert, and we have hired a gentleman to be in that office that can help us as a commission feel comfortable that things are being done there. Next, the assessor will come into compliance by obtaining his certified general appraiser license and become designated by the state to appraise non-residential properties. And they're saying that this exception will most likely not be met, and that this coming year we'll have to hire a commercial appraiser to do those appraisals. And item number 5, the assessor will need to ensure that he or one of his employees is able to obtain designation from the state that will allow the office to appraise, audit business, personal property. The assessor has completed this requirement. So, and that's signed by Gerald Osborne from the State Tax Commission.
This was read into place just so that people can understand that there are some issues that have and are being addressed, and the commissioners cannot solve this problem. Assessor Bishop is an elected official, and only voters can fix this problem. If voters, it is the voters' responsibility to hold all elected officials accountable for doing their jobs. Anything else to add?
Not at this time.
No, I don't.
Okay. Item number 8 on the agenda. This is not a public forum. Item number 8 on the agenda is consideration of possible approval of an agreement with Utah State University for management of the Carbon County Airport. Commissioners, as you know, we have been working with Utah State University to manage the airport in place of Red Tail Aviation. This has been an ongoing process for quite a while. We finally reached an agreement and been able to work out all the details. We're excited to have Red Tail be able to manage the airport. This agreement just finalizes that. Do you have any questions about this?
I don't have any questions. I would just make a comment that this is a wise move for the county in being able to engage the university. This will allow them to manage the airport, and their intention there is to try to stand up a airport management class and possibly a degree in that, which is pretty rare across the country. So the students that are flying planes, the students that in the future will be working on engines and the airframe repairs can understand the management side of the airport. I think that will give them some real value in their education.
Yeah, and our airport has room to expand where USU and Logan is pretty overwhelmed at this point. So it's a great thing. So if there's no other comments, I'll make a motion.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the agreement with Utah State University for management of the Carbon County Regional Airport.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Move that we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.